Welcome to Top of the Line. This is the podcast version of our YouTube show. New episodes every Monday and Friday where we talk about audio and hi-fi related themes.
If you have any requests for a future episode, send us an email, totl@abyssheadphones.com. All right, so we got a question today from some guy that's named someone who didn't buy our headphones. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's his name. A topic that I see from time to time in forums is about a person's physical ability to hear. We all have different levels of hearing of people, and it changes over time. A topic about protecting your hearing and how the age affects it. It would be nice to have a video about hi-fi gear still worth it if you're already below 15 kilohertz of hearing. Can you still hear the benefits of expensive gear with an ear of a 7-year-old? Well, I think there's plenty of 7-year-olds that can attest to that. They enjoy their music.
We see people at shows all the time. Well, not so much these years, but normally we'd see people at trade shows all the time that are fairly old, and they seem to enjoy music and hi-fi quite a great deal. So personally, not being 70, it's kind of hard to directly attest to that. But it seems quite likely that even as you age, hi-fi still matters. Because even if you take the high frequencies out of the equation, those are the primary things you lose as you age. The mid-range, the low end, still more or less seems to work just fine. And I think it's hard to make a claim that it doesn't make a difference when you go from low end to high end stuff in those frequency ranges. There's tons of variables. You see people all the time enjoying music at very different levels as they age. Clearly, the gear matters still, right?
Well, you're just essentially less sensitive to high frequencies. I know one guy came to me at a show and he's like, I don't care if things are bright or not. I can't hear it anyways. So he's like not worried about it at all. But he knows that coming in that he can't hear above 10K or whatever. So but he still enjoys, hi-fi.
It reminds me of a Clint Eastwood movie. Man's got to know his limitations. But it's good. It's good though. To admit it, there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone gets old, and that's a function of most people's ears. You tend to lose the highs. I guess the eardrum gets a bit more brittle or something like that. It changes
like
in elasticity or something. And so it's kind of a natural thing. So I don't know if there's any way to not have that happen, or if some people don't. I don't know if there are actually people that when they get older, they still have their highs.
Probably.
I don't know. There might
I'd
be
have to look at the numbers on that one. I'm guessing there's some data out there, but
maybe we'll throw something up on the screen on that one. But bottom line, though, is that I've talked to a ton of people that were older than me, and over the years, and of course, the farther back you go, a lot more people were older than me.
Okay.
That's one of those chicken and egg things. Right?
Weird, huh?
Yeah, but anyway, the deal is that they know what they can hear and what they can't hear, but they are experienced in listening, and that accounts for an awful lot of what they're hearing. They know what sounds good and what's not, even though they can't hear the higher freaks. What they can hear, they know what's right and wrong because they've listened for so many years.
And they've had the same ears the whole time.
Well, that's true.
So you didn't just wake up, I can't hear above 8K anymore.
That's true.
So you've slowly
unlike new speakers every year, a couple of years, which messes with your brain for a month or so, or a different room. You're right. The ears that is one constant.
Yeah.
And the change is gradual. Aside from some catastrophic accident, the change is so gradual. You think about it. It takes you 50 years to lose 5-6 kilohertz. That's a long, slow process. I don't think anyone hears that happening.
No.
You just kind of glide into it over the years.
Yeah, nobody's even checking usually from time to time.
Right.
It's just, it is what it is, right?
We used to use TVs as a way because they had the flyback transformer on a TV was like 15.6 kilohertz or some crap. And I remember the older guys couldn't hear it at all. And I used to, when I was in my teens or 20s, they'd be like, I could hear a freaking bat calling out.
I remember the old days walking by the walls of TVs in stores. It was so painful walking by those.
It's all gone.
All the old people, they had no clue it was even happening.
Didn't bother them at all.
And now we got LCD, so it doesn't matter. It's not a test anymore.
That's true. But that'd be the only way to know. When you start the list, when you're not hearing TVs, one or two possibilities exist. You're getting old, or it's off. But I'm sure the younger crowd doesn't even know what the hell I'm talking about.
No, that's not really a thing.
It's been a while since we had picture tubes.
Yeah. Really not.
You guys grew up with it.
Yeah, not in the grand scheme of things.
One isn't that bad, though. It's really not until you hear 20 or 30 of them right next to each other that it's really quite piercing.
what big Sony we had was the last one. Did you guys hear it? Did that actually make noise? Or not really?
Yeah.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
So they all did.
They all do. Yeah.
They didn't even bother trying to like shield it.
Some were louder than others, but they all did.
Slightly different pitches and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I suppose another factor of this is hearing loss, because you have your natural hearing loss or your hearing effectively degradation over time, where you have inability to hear frequencies that you used to be able to hear. But a lot of people also suffer from additional hearing loss, where they have difficulty hearing just normal ambient noises in general. And I would guess the damage from that over the years is probably not entirely flat across the spectrum. So that could present some issues. But I think that's probably up to the individual person. Maybe you have to go to someone to get your ears checked to see if you have like huge gaps in your hearing or something.
Not that you could do anything about it.
Well, that's the thing.
Maybe EQ in that case.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
A hearing aid's not a solution. That's the beginning of the end there, because those things aren't exactly high fidelity.
They're not, so that's a problem.
You're better off trying to maintain what you have.
Yeah.
Though another thing I thought of though is that I've had a number of people that have tinnitus that I've spoken to over the years, which it's got like they're always hearing a tone type thing, and it does affect some people more than others. It's louder, I guess, in their heads at various times and so on. And I think sometimes I hear things in my head, tones.
I believe it. Yeah.
Oh, there's one now. Shut up. Anyway, what I'm getting at is that I know that they tend to be more sensitive because of it. Like they don't want anything that adds to that tone.
Yeah,
right.
That's understandable.
So they're looking for smoothness typically. I've even had people like that seriously go to our cables and say, well, I've changed these cables or power cords out, and it actually helped tremendously. And I think there must have been some sort of noise or something in the audio mix that was for whatever reason annoying them, and they can listen to more music after they, let's say, smoothen the system, and they were like, wow, thanks, that's really cool. And I've seen people with the headphone side of it too. I think it's the same thing. Or speakers you choose when you have that type of problem. You got to be you're more particular as to what you're listening to, and you want smoothness, not necessarily dull. You don't want it to add to the noise that's already in your head. And another thing I could think of too is people that only have one ear, where they've lost hearing in one ear, and they're still appreciating music. Now, obviously, they tend to do it with the one ear, so they're probably listening by turning their head. But you can appreciate, if you ever tried covering one ear,
Yep.
you can appreciate imaging with one ear.
It's quite different, though.
You got to have a really good, well set up system. You got to do the equalizer triangle type thing. The speakers in the room, it's got to be well set up. But if you cover one ear, you can locate with one ear. It's definitely not the same.
It's
kind
of like mono recordings, like really good and properly set up.
Right.
It's like surprising.
Yeah.
This is mono?
Yeah. And I think the better the system, the more actually appreciative that person with only one ear is. And some of them I talk to say, I only got one ear, so it doesn't matter. I'm thinking, no, it does matter. You could try it. You could try a cheap system with one ear versus a really good one that's throwing out gobs of information. And the one ear will pick up all the spatialness of the image, really. So, I'd say don't worry about it. This whole age thing. It is what it is. And people can hear when they get older.
Well, unless you were like a rock star. They all seem to be.
Well, that's another,
from the olden days.
That's damage.
They all seem to be
permanent damage.
Yeah.
The current gen, they wear proper hearing aids or in-ear monitors.
Well, you hope.
Yeah.
You usually see them on stage. They got both ears.
But back in the
covered
day,
with custom-made in-ears.
Nope. All the power right behind you.
Yeah.
We see people attracted to high-end audio for all different kinds of reasons. Some people have and knowingly have some sort of deficit in their hearing or particular sensitivity for one reason or another. And so they feel the need to go to high-end audio because all the regular stuff is just, it's too painful for them. It has too much stuff in it they don't want to hear, too much negativity.
Yeah, I think it turned most of them off.
Right.
They just avoid it.
And in the high end, a lot of times you can find solutions. So you see some people that are attracted for that. Every once in a while we talk to people at shows that say, hey, I got something going on with my hearing here or there, or I have some problem here or sensitivity here, and what do you recommend? Usually is what they're going for. And a lot of times there's a solution for them that they could actually find comfortable, they really like. So it seems even if you have non-stellar hearing, there's a benefit to HiFi.
You have to go to the quality side of things.
Yeah.
And I think you find that it's more, applicable to your situation. It's helpful.
Well, you definitely know coming in exactly what you're looking for because you know exactly what annoys you.
Bothers you.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, the clock radio ain't going to cut it. They don't even have clock radios anymore, do they? It's funny how that all went away when the iPhone and all these smartphones came out. Like the clock radios, just
nobody uses them really. So
it's funny.
Just clocks in general, really.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. There's not even barely people even use them anymore. I tried to find a baller clock radio once 4 or 5 years ago. It's really hard to do.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, really, they're not out there anymore. Nobody uses them.
That's another thing that disappeared because I remember 10, 15 years ago, there used to be the wall of clock radios in stores, 20 of them in a row. Yeah. Now, you're lucky if they got one or two, right?
They probably got the one.
Yeah, they got the $9 one that is just whatever.
Like, does Bose even make a clock radio anymore?
I don't know if they still make it anymore.
There's no baller clock radios. You can't even get them,
Yeah.
But anyway, it is what it is.
That's a topic for a different day.
It sure is.
I think that vaguely summarizes it, at least our thoughts on it. It's kind of hard to extrapolate because none of us are quite as old as the commenter suggested. But yeah, we see people all the time enjoying audio into a ripe old age. So it seems quite plausible that there's benefits. They seem to enjoy it. I think it's worth pursuing, at least giving it a try when things turn around and when you're able to do so.
Yeah, you're never too old to enjoy music.
Mm-hmm. I don't think so. No. Well, if anyone out there has any suggestions for a future video topic, you can send us an email, totl@thebestiphones.com. Until then, take care.
Take care.